Christmas Miracle, how an area girl's wish comes true, and out with the old and in with the new, the transition taking place on this college campus. Good evening and thanks for choosing us to wrap up your weekend. First tonight at 10, President Obama traveled to Connecticut to meet with victims' families and speak in front of a community trying to cope. Ines Ferre has the latest from Newtown.
Hundreds of mourners at a vigil in Newtown gave first responders a standing ovation. President Obama is there to help this community deal with the tragedy. People have been stopping at town memorials all day, while others attended Sunday services focused on the tragedy that shattered this tight-knit community. Residents leaned on one another as they remembered the 20 first graders and 6 adults gunned down at Sandy Hook Elementary School.
We just all basically hugged each other, and said it was going to be all right, we'll get past it.
But one mass was cut short after someone called in a threat.
I wasn't scared, and I looked up and I said, if anything has to happen, protect the kids. Enough of them have.
As people here in Newtown grieve, investigators say they have the best of the best working to gather evidence so they can determine a motive for Friday's shooting.
We have to have the whole picture before we can say, hopefully, how and why this occurred. That's not going to come very quickly.
Police say the gunman, Adam Lanza, shot his mother in the head as she laid in bed, then drove to the school. Investigators say the 20-year-old had hundreds of unused bullets on him and used a high-powered rifle to shoot all the victims in one hallway and 2 classrooms.
To pick on 6- and 7-year-olds is just, it's beyond horrific.
Sources tell CBS News the massacre may have gone on longer, but Lanza shot himself in the head with one of his handguns when he heard police coming. Ines Ferre for CBS News, Newtown, Connecticut.
School officials say classes will likely resume later this week, but students from Sandy Hook Elementary School will not be returning to that building anytime soon. Psychologists say tragedies like this one in Newtown can affect children all over the country. MTN's David J. talks with a professional who offers advice to help children through this difficult time.
They're going to get exposed to it either by friends or through family or through school. It's difficult for them to be exposed to it and not know if it's okay to talk about it. And parents need to take time to make sure that they talk to their children about these matters and find out how they're feeling about it.
Dr. Michael Boots says it's important for parents to find out if the tragedy has affected their children.
One of the feelings would be that this might happen to me. Another feeling might be, am I safe? Another feeling might be, that's horrible, I wouldn't want to ever see that happen to somebody. And so they'll have questions along those lines.
He says parents may need to give their children important messages.
The message you want to give them is fundamentally that your world's not going to change right now.
And Dr. Boots says part of getting past the tragedy is to keep the routine.
Going back to regular schedules, making sure that they have a predictable, knowable environment and that they have been reassured that their school is safe is very important.
And Boots says children can become overwhelmed with the news and the pictures.
They really need to limit their media exposure at these kinds of times. Limit their children's exposure to these kinds of events. They really want to make sure they understand and respond to what their children are feeling and experiencing about events like what happened in Connecticut.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
If you would like more information on how to help your child, you can find a link to the American Psychological Association and their tips by viewing the story on our website. Snow flurries started moving into parts of our area today. Let's head over to the Storm Tracker Weather Center. Claire, what should we expect as we move into tomorrow?
Well, Jen, as we head into tomorrow, there are chances of snow. Again, as we take a look at our radar system, there's a big storm coming in from the west coast. It's going to be moving in. You can see the snow is already hitting the very west parts of Montana, and temperatures are going to remain very cold over the next few days. Here's a look at our temperatures right now, already down to the 20s. It's going to stay like that tonight and into tomorrow. So heads up with that, and we'll have a complete look at your forecast, though, after more news. Back to you, Jen.
All right, thanks, Claire. A 20-year-old Billings man died in a crash early this morning. Troopers with Montana Highway Patrol say it happened in West Billings around 3:20 this morning. The trooper on scene says the driver was going too fast and did not make the turn. His 2006 Subaru Impreza went off the road, down an embankment, and into an irrigation ditch. Laurel Volunteer Fire Department responded and extricated the man from the vehicle. Officials say speed was a factor and alcohol may also have been a factor. Those serving in the military received a little appreciation on the slopes this weekend. We start tonight's Montana Minute at Big Sky. The 5th annual Military Appreciation Weekend has wrapped up at Big Sky. All military service members ski for free, along with discounted lodging, rentals, and ski school programs. Resort staff say nearly 500 military members took advantage of the weekend offers. Following the weekend event, Tony Horton, founder of the popular P90X workout, hosts a 3-day workout at the resort. Bozeman police officers took 13 elementary school children out to buy their Christmas presents in their first ever Shop with a Cop event. Kids were chosen to team up with a cop for one giant shopping spree. The Bozeman Police Protective Association team up with officers and Target to raise enough money to give each child $100 to shop with. Parents were given $20 to buy a surprise gift for their kid. Monday is expected to be a huge shipping day for FedEx, being the last day for guaranteed delivery by Christmas shipping ground. Officials say last week was one for the record books, marking their largest shipping day ever, and Monday is thought to be the same. If you're shipping express, the deadline is Saturday, December 22nd. Women on the farm got a chance to learn new techniques and even become a little more business savvy when it comes to the producing world. Our own Beth Beachy takes us to the first ever women's conference put on by the Montana Farmers Union to help educate women who play key roles on Montana's farms.
Katie Bangs married into a life on the farm. Her husband's great-grandmother started their homestead north of Inverness back in 1910. And the Montana Farmers Union Women's Conference left her feeling like she could carry on the tradition.
It's definitely a big inspiration, I think, and you know, kind of having that family history and family tradition of farming, and I feel really fortunate to be marrying into that.
Originally, Katie, an Iowa native, thought that the city life was for her.
I went to school for apparel design and French, and I had an internship in New York City with Burberry. I kind of thought that was going to be my life, you know, like fashion design in the city.
But after realizing the high-pressure fashion world wasn't what she was after, she moved west and met her husband in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Now in Inverness, Bangs is looking for helpful tidbits to successfully run a farm, as are the rest of these ladies at the Women's Conference. This is the first of its kind from the Montana Farmers Union, and from their perspective, it's filling a gap in their education and outreach.
It started when I was looking over our entire education program and discovered that there was a niche that needed to be filled, and that was providing education specifically for women producers.
CLAMPITT says she put herself in these women's shoes and came up with speakers and presentations to cover multiple aspects of producing so these women could walk away with a solid agricultural foundation. And that's exactly what Bangs wanted to take back to Inverness, and at the same time bond with other women looking to do the same.
I feel like I have a passion for like women doing cool things, I guess. So to see that it was a women-specific conference was important to me. And also just to kind of connect with other women who have similar ideals as I do in a similar situation.
In Great Falls, Beth Beachy, MTN News.
The conference was an all-weekend event. Women were able to attend seminars covering everything from learning how to write business plans to canning and preserving. The first signs of the Great Falls College-MSU's new identity are starting to appear. Since the name change this summer, staff have been working to create a new logo to represent the school. The marketing director says the shield represents the strength of the school and is a tribute to the military who play an active role in the college. The traditional falls have been carried over from the old logo, but a golden triangle has been added to represent our area's agricultural roots.
We really want to have the symbolism that's in there for people to notice it and see it, because we did work very hard to narrow down a logo and then have it hopefully come upon people in a good way.
Klasner says the school is slowly transitioning to the new logos throughout the campus. A ceremony to celebrate the new look is scheduled for January, where students, staff, and the community can embrace the face of Great Falls College-MSU. You can tell it was definitely a lot sunnier even just earlier today, but you keep saying snow, so I'm a little worried it's not going to be sticking around.
Well, there are some chances of snow today. We even saw some snow in different areas depending on where you were. It was sunny In Great Falls, other places saw snow showers, so it's going to continue like that for tomorrow. There's a big storm heading in. Here's what you can expect for tomorrow morning. Morning Planet is going to be 26 degrees at 6 a.m. Snow showers and windy conditions throughout the morning. For Helena, similar story. Temperatures in the 20s, reaching 30 degrees by 10 a.m. with snow showers. I'll have a complete look at your forecast after the break.